Hi everybody, weekend's almost over, so it's time to do a video. Happy weekend everybody. Last weekend I did a video called When 33 is Greater Than 70, and that's where I explained that destruction the destruction of the temple in Jerusalem by the Romans back in 70 AD was not the actual fulfillment of Scripture. Scripture actually was fulfilled in 33 AD in the death and resurrection of Jesus Christ. But so after that, a couple questions have been asked. One person who watched the video, she sent Mike a question on Facebook, which he answered. So let me read you her question. Um, Ruby Kwong asked Mike. She said, "Hello, Mike. I just listened to Jeff's talk. 33 is greater than 70, and then I also checked out scripture addresses to see what he is saying. Here's my question." This is NIV. Hebrews 9:27. After we die, then comes judgment. What judgment is it talking about? Thanks, Ruby Kwong. Okay. Now Mike replied and said, "Hi, Ruby. The writer of Hebrews is referring to scriptural truth that all mankind had to die and then face judgment. Hebrews in this chapter and book reveals to us that Jesus kept mankind's appointment with death and its subsequent judgment. For in that one died, all are dead. And we also understand that if one is judged, Christ, all have been judged." So that really puts it nice and neatly in a nutshell. But going back to Hebrews chapter 9, where Ruby read verse 27, Mike always says read a little bit further because a similar question was also asked in our private group on Facebook. And that person was basically asking about a future judgment, and he was basing the question on what he's read in Peter. Now, we've demonstrated over and over that Peter and Paul did not agree on a lot, and Peter definitely did not have the understanding of the gospel that Paul had. He did not have a clear understanding of all Scripture being fulfilled at the cross. Because the way I read Peter is the same way the person on Facebook did, which I'm reading Peter as saying it's a future event, and I say no, it's not. So Ruby, getting back to Hebrews chapter 9, I think this addresses both Ruby and this other person. In verse 27 it says, and this is in the King James Version, it says, "And as it is appointed unto men once to die, but after this the judgment." Verse 28 says, "So Christ was once offered to bear the sins of many, and unto them that look for him shall he appear the second time without sin unto salvation." So here's the critical thing, because in Peter it says that Christ will appear again, and there will be a judgment. And he talks about it in the future, as being in the future. But you see, Jesus himself talked about when he would reappear and when he would come, and this was before the cross. Well, he reappeared after the crucifixion, so he reappeared at the resurrection. When he reappeared at the resurrection, that was the second time he reappeared. That he appeared, because the first time he appeared was when he was born. So when he reappeared without sin unto salvation. This, of course, means that judgment also happened. So the judgment that Peter is talking about as a future event was not actually a future event. It is a past event. Hebrews is delineating this, and other letters from Paul do as well. So I hope that answered a bunch of questions that some people may have been having after they watched my video last week. And I will put if you haven't seen that video, we'll put a link to it down below on the YouTube page. Other than that, folks, have a revolutionary week.